They're small, they're sneaky, and they're utterly terrifying. Welcome to Brain-Getty, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most dangerous parasites in the world. For this list, we're looking at some of the most upsetting, unpleasant, and nasty parasites that are found around the globe that either affect humans or animals. Number 9. Tоxoplasma Gondii, also known as the mind control bug. According to some estimates, this microscopic organism has already infected up to 50% of the population. Don't worry though, this parasite isn't poised to take over the world and enslave the human race. When people talk about mind control, what they really mean is that the Tоxoplasma Gondii has the ability to impact behavior. Research has suggested that its presence may play a role in mental illness or erratic behavior in humans, but those findings are far from conclusive. In rats, however, the impaired judgment is significantly more pronounced. Studies have found that infected rats are significantly less fearful, even around cats, forcing scientists to reconsider how it might be affecting our choices. Number 8. Trypanosoma brucea. Sleeping sickness caused by two types of this extracellular parasite is a devastating condition that's wreaking havoc in sub-Saharan Africa. This parasitic disease is spread via the bite of the tsetse fly, and it's particularly insidious, as it often shows little sign of its presence until it's reached already an advanced stage of infection. By that point, the host's central nervous system has already been compromised. Though easy to treat in its early stages, it's often mistaken for a common cold or flu after it reaches the central nervous system. Convulsions, confusion, and erratic behavior set in, as well as extreme exhaustion and the inability to sleep. Now there's irony. Left untreated, African trypanosomiasis can be fatal. Number 7. Cymothoa exigua, also known as the tongue-eating sea louse. Cymothoa exigua is a small crustacean that invades fish via the gills, then attaches itself to the tongue. From there, it begins to, as advertised, eat the tongue, effectively replacing it in the process. We should all consider ourselves exceedingly lucky that this particular parasite targets fish and not humans, because it's something straight out of a horror film. Then again, we're not exactly immune to water-based parasitic attacks ourselves. Vandalia caesar is a small parasitic catfish known to swim up and into the penis of men through the urethra, prompting men of traditional cultures in the Amazon basin to tie the foreskin shut with a string when going into the water. Number 6. Onchocerca volvulus. Flies strike again, this time both in Africa and parts of Latin America. In this case, our offending parasite is transmitted by simulated black flies known to breed in quick-moving bodies of water, like rivers. As a result, populations dependent upon natural sources of water are most commonly affected. When the host becomes infected with onchocerciasis, they are likely to experience an extremely itchy rash. As onchocerciasis progresses, deformities of skin and eye conditions appear. If left untreated, the parasite can result in permanent blindness, which is why access to treatment is so crucial. Number 5. Wuchereria bancrofti. Mosquitoes remain, at least for now, an important part of our global ecosystem, serving as a crucial source of food for many small predators. But they sure spread an awful lot of disease between humans. They're the perfect means of public transportation for lymphatic filariasis, which is spread by tiny worms, Wuchari or Bancroft worms being the most common. They're invisible to the naked eye, but the effect on the human body is anything but. Lymphatic filariasis can result in both lymphedema, a swelling of the arms or legs, and elephantiasis, which results in massive growth of the arms, legs, breasts, and male genitals. Believe us, not in a good way. Number 4, Ampulex compressa, also known as the mind control wasp. This is another parasite that makes you grateful to be human and thus an unsuitable host. But cockroaches aren't so lucky. While some parasites simply leech off the host while keeping their impact to a minimum, when this wasp selects its cockroach victim, that roach is a slave for the remainder of its short, miserable existence. The wasp injects the cockroach with venom directly into the ganglia, then leads the helpless roach around by the antenna, like a dog on a leash. Back at the burrow, the wasp lays eggs in the cockroach to act as a living incubator for the wasp larva, which will eventually eat it from the inside out. The aristocrats. Number 3, Plasmodium falciparum. Few parasites have gotten more attention or had a more significant and horrible impact on humanity than this one. Plasmodium is a family of single-celled parasites with numerous subtypes. 5 of them target humans, while 4 of these have been known to result in malaria. The severity of the disease caused by 3 strains is relatively low, but then there's Plasmodium falciparum, the killer 4th species and the most prolific source of malaria. It's been estimated that between 500,000 and over 1 million people every year die of malaria, with almost every fatality resulting from this particular strain. Number 2, Leishmania. Parasites wreak havoc on the human body in a wide variety of ways, but few more painfully visible than a leishmaniasis infection, which is spread by sandflies in its cutaneous form. The infection presents as large ulcers that can affect any part of the body, including the mouth and the nose. Though this infection might look painful, the sores, lumps, and scabs aren't known to be particularly sensitive or painful, and they'll usually heal over time. Good, right? But it's the internal effects of visceral leishmaniasis that you really need to worry about. Left unchecked, the leishmaniasis causes the liver and the spleen to swell, resulting in a significantly lower blood cell count. It can be fatal. Number 1, Naegleria fowleri, also known as the brain-eating amoeba. You've surely heard horror stories about this one. While most parasites discussed today can be treated, there is no known cure or effective treatment for a Naegleria infection. That's why preventative measures, such as regular water testing, are so vital to public safety when it comes to natural bodies of water where people swim regularly. When inhaled nasally, it can result in a cerebral infection known as Naegleria ascis, which almost always kills the host, typically in as little as 2 weeks' time. To avoid exposure, only swim in bodies of warm, fresh water that you know to be tested regularly, and avoid accidentally breathing in through the nose. So if you have more ideas about any of these parasites, kindly tell us in the comment section and hit the subscribe button.